Hello, BookTube. I thought I'd do a little book haul. I did a shelf tour earlier today and mentioned that I had part of the day to myself, so I get to go out and play. I went to a charity shop called Listen, and there's two of them. One's in White River Junction and one's in Lebanon. So White River Junction is in Vermont, Lebanon is New Hampshire, is right across the river. There's just a bridge, and so the one in Lebanon, New Hampshire is much bigger and newer. Had to go there. I went there first, and then I went to the smaller White River Junction one second. At the Lebanon one, I found a bunch of music CDs, and they were all on sale. And I found one book, and then at the White River Junction, I found a small pile of books. So I'll put the music, because I know not everybody's into that. You're not watching BookTube for music, some of you. So I'll put that at the end and tell you when the music's coming on, so you can just opt out. So, but I'll start with the book I got in Lebanon, New Hampshire. This is The 20-Year Death. It's one of those hard case crime novels. I know there's quite a few people on BookTube who collect these. It's by Ariel S. Winter. I know nothing about. I know I've read some hard case crimes. Big old thick thing. This would have been 25 cents. So all the books were 25 cents, and most of the LPs were 25. I mean the CDs were 25 cents. So I spent $7. So this is, let's see, it looks like it might be a debut, which is sort of cool. And it was published in 2012, and the cover on this is by Chuck Pyle. There's a little bit of glare. I got all the curtains closed and the furnace is on for the first time this year. It's about 50 degrees out, a little wet, so there's never been a book like this one. A breathtaking first novel written in the form of 3 separate crime novels, each set in a different decade and penned in the style of a different giant of the mystery genre. I just grabbed it, didn't read that. That's actually pretty cool. So 1931, the body found in the gutter in France led the police inspector to the dead man's beautiful daughter and her hot-tempered American husband. 1941, a hard-boiled private eye hired to keep a movie studio's leading lady happy uncovers the truth behind the brutal slaying of a Hollywood starlet. In 1951, a desperate man pursuing his last chance at redemption finds himself with blood on his hands and the police on his trail. So there it is there. Sounds interesting. A little experimental, I guess. So for $0.25, I can take a chance on it. And then in White River Junction, I found this, Stephen Brust, Dezur, in which Vlad Taltos confronts the left hand of Jereg and discovers the game has more players than he thought. Well, there you go, a little paperback thing. When did this come out? This is 2006. Tom Doherty Associations tour. I don't know if it's Vlad Taltos. Oh, that's a whole series. I don't even think I'm anywhere close to the beginning of it, but I'll read one. If you can't stand alone, you can't stand alone. When you're a short-statured, short-lived human in an empire of tall, long-lived Dragarians, you gotta hold on to your wits. Long ago, I made a good living as a captain of the Jereg, the noble house that runs the rackets in the Imperial City. But love, revolution, betrayal, and revenge ensued, as they do, and for years now I've been on the run, just trying to stay a step ahead of the Jereg. Because after everything that's gone down, they'd kill me without a second thought. So there you go. not the first in a series. Then I got this, The Ordering Mirror, Readers in Context, introduction by Philip Lapote, and it has some incredible writers in it. It's the Ben Blitt Lectures at Bennington College. So there's George Steiner. I used to have tons of his books. I don't need more. Frank Kermode, Harold Bloom, Dennis Donahue, Irving Howe, Richard Ellman, Bernard Malamud, Ben Blitt, Saul Bellow, Hugh Kenner, Richard Rorty, Renee Girard, Nadine Gordimer, Seamus Heaney, and Cynthia Ozick. See, got some glare here. So it's University Press, Fordham. Even though the lectures are at Bennington College in Vermont. Fordham University Press in New York, 1993. So, just to give you an introduction here. The Uncommon Reader by George Steiner. Divination by Kermode. Harold Bloom does The Tally of My Soul, Whitman's Image of Voice. Irving Howe's The Making of a Critic. Richard Ellman, The Uses of Decadence, Wilde, Yeats, and Joyce. Bernard Malamud does Long Work, Short Life. Saul Bellow does Summations. I'm not reading all of these. Nadine Gordimer does Three in a Bed, Fiction, Morals, and Politics. Seamus Heaney does Dylan the Durable on Dylan Thomas, which we just saw on our shelf tour today. It's in his Redress of Poetry. And then what Cynthia Ozick does, What Henry James Knew. Well, isn't that weird? That's sort of cool. Then on the books, the final one here is I got this copy of the X-Men, Marvel Masterworks. This is number 1, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. A little bit of wear on it, but for a quarter, how could I argue? Not read a ton of X-Men. I used to, occasionally, but it'd be fun to get in and read a little. Not that I'm doing well. I've got literally piles of comic books upstairs that I need to get to. So, yeah. So that was the books. If you're interested in the music, hang around. If you're not, now's the time to bail. So, this one's got a little sticker on it that I didn't get. Take that off there. This is Bellini's Norma with Sutherland, Horn, Alexander, Cross, and Bonnage. The Complete Opera Collection is what it's called, part of. It's Decca. Right now, I'll tell you, at least here, it's got a little guidebook. It's a libretto. Right around here, the CDs are going cheap. I don't know if that's that way everywhere, but the LPs you take a little more of a chance on, and you've got to really check them out. CDs you should look at, but I don't, at a quarter, I don't spend some of them are 50 cents. I don't spend a whole lot of time worrying. If they look fairly decent, I'll grab them and take my chances. So yeah, Norma. Then Stravinsky's Le Rossignol, The Nightingale. Pierre Boulez, BBC Symphony Orchestra and the BBC Singers. Brynjolfsson, Callie, Palmer, and Tomlinson, Errato. Hopefully you can see that. And there we have it. Something tells me there was recently a book about him that came out, or a book of his essays or something. If anybody knows, let me know down in the comments. Here's Emmanuel Ax, Scherzos and Mazurkas, Chopin. Pretty well-known album. And that's the Masterworks on CBS Records. Bruch, Violin Concerto, number 2. Scottish Fantasy. It's Itzhak Perlman and Zubin Mehta and the Israeli Philharmonic Orchestra. It's the EMI. For my birthday years ago, my wife got me a tickets to go see Itzhak Perlman. And I got to sit up in those balconies. I felt like those guys on the Muppet Show. I just kept thinking about them the whole time. Okay, and then this is Michael Tilson Thomas and the English Chamber Orchestra, and Tallis Chamber Choir, Beethoven Symphonies 8 and 9. And this is also CBS Records Masterworks. Let's get the little libretto here. Got the Joseph Haydn's The Creation, but with Herbert von Karajan. This is a Deutsche Grammophon. A little symbol there. So it's a 2-disc set. Again with your little book. Who else is in this? Edith Mathis, Francisco Ariaza, and Jose Von Damme. Wiener Philharmoniker. Then we have Leopold Stokowski conducting his symphony orchestra, another EMI Angel. It's Bartók, music for strings, percussion, and Celesta. Schoenberg, Transfigured Night, and Barber, Adagio for strings. Never can quite beat this glare. Then we have this RCA Victor Red Seal Tchaikovsky Symphony No. 4, St. Louis Symphony Orchestra with Leonard Slatkin. Another one of these very popular albums. I probably have this on LP. This didn't come out on CD originally. Now watch me be wrong, but no way. Whatever. Then Arthur Rubinstein Chopin collection, the concerto. So I guess this was part of a whole collection, which would be sort of neat to track down. And then finally, Brahms Violin Concerto, Alto Rhapsody, Haydn Variations. It's Heinrich Zering, London Symphony Orchestra, Pierre Monteau, Shirley Verrett, the Philadelphia Orchestra, Eugene Ormandy. It's got some sort of date thing on here. I'll just take that off. Might have been important to the original owner, but unless there's something I don't know. It's new release of the Papillon collection, RCA Victor. They got all these butterflies. Isn't that sort of cool? Sort of a nice touch. So I wonder how many of these there were. Oh, always questions. So let me do a Steve Pyramid, if it's possible, with 2 different media. I think I can do this. Yeah, watch it all go flying now. So here's the day's haul for $7. I think it was actually $6.80. So not too bad. Like I really needed all this stuff, but it's fun. So I hope you have a good day, and thank you, BookTube.